Hey y'all, welcome back to the DeBergerac channel. This is Jim, your humble host, and Bucky. You gonna say hi to the camera, buddy? I've been slobbered. I hope that still looks good on camera. Hey, we appreciate y'all watching, and today we got an interesting project. So we have this old cabinet that I had two choices with it. It was gonna go in the garbage, and then I thought of my subscribers. I said, I'm gonna show you how to do something. But at the same time, I thought if this cabinet went from being basically a $500 piece of furniture and looking like that, we put it white paint on it, change the handles out, we'd have something really nice. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you a couple of different products that we're using to make this a real easy job. One of the neat things about this with this particular cabinet is I was looking at it closely, and being manufactured the way it is, we can take the top right off. Now obviously I set this up beforehand so you all didn't have to watch me take out 20 screws. Top comes off. Much easier to spray the inside. The drawers we're going to take apart and we're going to paint the fronts. We're going to take these old handles out. We're going to use AP7, fill over the front of them. After it's all painted, we'll put some more modern looking poles on it. But I think you're really going to like this. This is not for a yacht. We're not going to be crazy with the paint. We're just going to make it look better. This is just a piece of furniture that I'm going to use, I think. Depends on how it comes out. The really cool part of this project is I'm not going to do a damn bit of the work. You're going to see my most handsome part of the crew working on this dresser. It's way better than looking at me for the whole video. We're going to fill it, and we're going to paint it. We're going to use Will Bond to etch all the surfaces. We'll paint it white. We're not going to be crazy if the paint goes in places that we wouldn't normally have it. This is the product. One of my handsome employees just passed this to me. Will Bond, liquid surface preparation. I don't want the guys to spend a ton of time sanding it and doing it for etching. So if you use it Will Bond, you rub that on there, it etches the surface for you. It's good for this project. Once again, this isn't necessarily for a yacht. This is for you all. So the next thing we're going to do is put a designer white conversion varnish on there, which is Campbell's. We like this product. It's a 10:1 ratio with a flow enhancer to it, and we'll spray it directly on after we Will Bond, and you'll get to see the finished product. So when we spray it, we'll spray it on its back. The top will be hanging in the booth. We'll do the drawers. If the paint gets on this part, I'm not really particularly worried about it, but we're going to see a transformation. When I was finding this drawer, somebody had stuck the paper exactly where I just pulled it out of. Obviously it moved when we were setting up for the video, but this is a Holland House piece, nothing fancy. Again, that's the whole point of doing this, is we're gonna do a transformation. We're gonna try to transform it into something, but it's not a fancy piece. It tells us what the enemies of furniture is. Caring for wood, furniture, tips for better dusting. Guess what, folks? When I paint it white, the only thing you're gonna have to do is dust it. The whole thing, going with modern, making it look pretty. All right, y'all guys, get started, and I'll talk to you later. It's a new day. We got the cabinet all painted, so we're going to go over the assembly. We're going to show how anal retentive I can be at times for things that don't matter. We changed the back wall to blue because we realized you're not going to be able to see the cabinet if it's white. So little things that we figure out as we're doing the videos for you, try to make it a little bit more interesting. The main reason for having the wall back there is we got other projects going on in the shop. We're saving them for later, and we don't want you to get a sneak preview. Just all spy secret stuff here, but you will see it all eventually. It's kind of like Area 51. Someday we're going to know what the aliens looked like when they landed. Anyway, let's go back to what we're doing. And if you'll notice, the top has already been set onto a blanket. We have the screws in the Ziploc bag for the job. They're still here. So I'm going to simply put these wood strips down so I don't damage anything. I'm going to simply lift this up. Now I'm going to get it close to where I want it to be. Then I'm going to remove the wood, set it down. See, this way nothing's getting damaged. Now generally I would use a couple of small awls and I would locate my holes with the awls. But I want to show you that you don't need every fancy tool to be able to do this. So I'm simply using a drill bit. I'm going to set that screw in. I'm not going to tighten it up yet. Okay, that's where the hole is. I'm going to put this one in. I'll go back and tighten this one. Now everything's ready to go. I'm going to set all the screws, put them all in place. We know they'll line up now. I get occasional questions of what kind of cigar are you smoking? This is a Romeo Juliet. This was given to me by a friend for my birthday. All right, now we have a slight gap up here. We can either decide to put a little caulking in there. This is what you get with store-bought furniture, so don't think you're gonna make it perfect. Okay, a little bit nicer. Now you can see it's looking good already. So let's go to the next step. It's a bit of a pain putting this stuff together. It's not like it's got Accurize on it, but it works. Jimbo's going to show you a trick. Notice that this handle is already put on. How do you center your handle up the same as I did on that one? I have a really cool technique for that. Take a template. I want my handle to be in the center of the drawer. So what I did was I cut a piece of plywood down that fits inside the molding. Then I made a score mark with the saw blade at 3 inches, centered, because this is a 6-inch opening here. That part's simple. Tricky part is, where's the center of your handle going to be? I put a line on for the center, measured off from that approximately 1.5 inches each way, just as a reference point. Watch what I did. I took 2 screws, sharpened pins on the end of them, screwed them in. How I got those was I took the old handle screws, cut the heads off, stuck the screw in a drill, and then ran it on the grinder. It makes a point. I'm going to simply set this on here, on those 2 lines, the center of my groove. That's going to establish a point for me to drill it at. Now I have 2 indexing holes set close enough to center that it will start my drill bit. I'm going to drill 2 parallel square holes right through the marking spots. Clean the other side. Set this back on my drawer. Now I have my center spot. And swap batteries. Oh, I love the sound of a fresh battery in the morning. Okay, we're going to need 2 handles. Now I personally like to use a screwdriver to put these in so that I'm not cross-threading my screws as opposed to use the drill. Pull it out a little bit more now. That's how easy it is to put it on square and perfect. You see I had no problem getting the screws in. Everything was easy. Let me put the rest of them on and I'll show you what it looks like finished. Okay, now I'm going to show you a part of me that you probably all didn't know existed, but I would highly recommend doing this with any old furniture that you happen to get. Anything that you feel like, you know how sometimes the piece doesn't give you the energy that you think it should, or it doesn't feel quite right? You just take some sage and sage the whole piece. The saging is basically, apparently they did it in China and different places as well, but saging in this country mainly came from the Native Americans who believed that everything should be saged. I believe they even saged some of their food before they ate it. I've actually used it and it really helps. You can sage your room, you can sage your house, but because this is an old piece of furniture, it might be carrying some extra energy. We're just going to sage it really good. I'm going to sage it with all of the sage, but I don't necessarily have to show you all me doing that, the whole sage all the way through, but we really hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. It helps. Again, I want to thank my 5,000 plus subscribers that we've gained on the channel. And now it's time for me to put this on my tricycle and deliver it. Y'all be good. Hope you enjoyed the 4th. And we'll talk to you all soon. Take care.